Welcome to this explainer. Every single day, businesses are literally burning millions of dollars just trying to manufacture that one fleeting viral moment. But what if I told you that's actually the exact wrong approach? If you're an executive, a business owner, or a decision maker steering the future of your company, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to kick off a massive paradigm shift in how you look at your marketing spend and your brand's growth. We are breaking down the exact data and strategies that separate the businesses that just make noise from the ones that actually leave a legacy.
So let me ask you something. Would you rather be famous for a week or trusted for years? It sounds like a total no-brainer, right? Yet every single day, organizations pour massive chunks of their budgets into chasing breaking news headlines or sponsoring a few social media posts, all just to get a brief spike in attention. But we really have to ask ourselves, is that actually the ultimate goal of our business visibility?
Okay, here's the reality we're all dealing with. You check your marketing dashboard, you spend the money, you get the clicks, but then a month later, it kind of feels like you're starting from scratch all over again. Why is that? Well, it's because consumers today have incredibly short attention spans. We are all just bombarded with thousands of marketing messages every single day. Banner ads, sponsored feeds, pop-ups, you name it. And because of this absolute overload, consumer skepticism is literally at an all-time high. People are actively doing deep dives online just to protect themselves from making a bad choice. When you're just another ad in a busy feed, you're fighting a losing battle against that skepticism.
And this brings us to a really crucial point. Visibility absolutely does not always equal lasting value. That massive spike in attention you get from a viral post or a super expensive sponsored placement, it usually fades to zero the second the campaign ends. If your entire strategy is just renting attention for a limited window, your visibility simply drops off a cliff the moment you stop paying.
Which brings us to Section 2, Exposure versus Brand Authority. Or, to put it another way, renting attention versus owning trust. There is a massive, fundamental difference between these two approaches. Look, short-term exposure gives you really fast results, and honestly, it's fantastic for supporting a new product launch. But the catch, it demands continuous financial investment. On the flip side, long-term authority is like a compounding asset. It builds sustainable credibility, deep customer trust, and robust SEO performance. It creates this long-lasting competitive advantage that your rivals literally cannot just buy overnight.
So let's actually define what we mean here. Long-term brand authority is the reputation a business earns through consistent expertise, trusted media coverage, valuable content, and meaningful industry contributions. And the key word there is consistent. Instead of just begging for attention with one flashy, isolated campaign, this is how an organization positions itself as the undisputed heavyweight in its industry over time. You aren't just selling to your audience, you're educating them, and you're leading them.
Now let's dive into Section 3, the mechanics of trust, and how consumers actually buy today.
Let's look under the hood for a second. The modern consumer is so incredibly informed. Before they even think about picking up the phone or filling out a form, they go on a journey. They hit up Google, they scrutinize your reviews, they visit your website and ruthlessly compare you to your competitors. And they're checking out your media mentions to see if independent, real voices actually validate you. Long story short, your authority is pulling the strings on their purchasing decisions way before they ever talk to your sales team.
So how do you win that modern consumer journey? You need a very specific vehicle for this. Enter digital PR. Think of digital PR as the engine driving this entire strategy. It perfectly bridges the gap between getting a quick burst of short-term publicity and building rock-solid, long-term authority. It takes exciting, newsworthy announcements and combines them with expert commentary, media partnerships, and high-authority backlinks. Basically, it grabs that immediate visibility and transforms it into a brand reputation that just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
And we definitely cannot forget about the search engines, because authority doesn't just win over human beings, it strongly influences Google too. Consistently publishing high-quality content and getting earned media coverage gives you a huge SEO advantage. We're talking better search rankings, higher domain authority, and incredibly high-quality backlinks. Unlike paid ads that literally vanish into thin air the second your budget dries up, these digital PR efforts drive long-term organic traffic that continues paying off for months, even years down the line. Moving right along to Section 4, striking the right balance. This is the winning playbook.
Now, I'm absolutely not saying you should completely abandon short-term campaigns. That would be a huge mistake. When you need immediate awareness and momentum, like for a product launch or a big promo event, you absolutely want to deploy short-term exposure tactics. But for actual sustainable growth and credibility, you have to anchor your business in long-term authority tactics: digital PR, SEO, thought leadership, and continuous reputation management. You use the short term to spike awareness, but you rely on the long term to actually capture and keep the market.
And as you roll out this playbook, please make sure you avoid these common strategic mistakes. I'm talking about putting all your eggs in the paid advertising basket, publishing content inconsistently, totally ignoring SEO, or just chasing whatever random viral dance is trending on social media without an actual strategy. Oh, and failing to build real relationships with journalists? That is a super fast way to stall out your momentum. True authority takes patience, consistency, and a deliberate long-term mindset. You simply cannot hack your way to trust.
It is so vital to remember this one core philosophy. Attention might open the door, but authority is what keeps it open. Every single article you write, every interview your executives give, every press mention, and every piece of genuinely helpful educational content, it all props that door wide open and builds an absolutely unshakable reputation for your business.
All right, let's look ahead to Section 5, the future of growth, the ultimate currency.
We are stepping into an era of totally unprecedented digital overload. I mean, with AI generating endless streams of content in seconds, it's getting harder and harder to know what's actually real. Because of that, customers are fiercely demanding real human expertise, authenticity, transparency, and credibility. Having proven, consistent value and earned trust, those are rapidly becoming the absolute most valuable business assets you could possibly own.
So it really all boils down to this. Short-term exposure earns attention, but long-term authority earns trust. And trust is what actually drives lasting business success. Combining targeted media visibility with a relentless, consistent effort to build authority, that is the true competitive advantage of the modern era.
I want to leave you with a final, provocative thought to really evaluate your own strategy right now. Take a hard look and ask yourself and your team, is your marketing budget just buying fleeting exposure, or are you actively investing in an unbreakable legacy of trust? If you want to learn exactly how to build that legacy, be sure to subscribe for more insights on digital PR and media strategy, and head over to our website to start turning your business into an undisputed industry authority. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.